Hello, my name is Emlyn Butterfield. I'm the Head of Computing for Noroff University College, and this webinar will talk you through the computing programs, the computing bachelor programs that we have here. If you have any questions as I'm talking, please post them in the YouTube chat underneath, and then I'll get to them towards the end of the presentation. Computing, or computers and data, it's immense, it's huge, it's changed drastically just in the last few years, never mind in the last 20 years. And we're now seeing extraordinary amounts of data that is available for people to access, people to use, services, functionalities, social media, and the kind of things that are now posted, stored, and made available now have value, which they never used to have. Because data now has value, and because there is so much data, people want to make use of it. Now, people might want to make use of it to make some money. People might want to make use of it for marketing and sales. And people might want to make use of it for criminal activities. Here at Noroff University College, we try and cover all eventualities, and we deliver niche undergraduate bachelor programs in applied data science, cybersecurity, and digital forensics. Now today, I will talk you through some of the nuances of each of these programs. There is so much to learn in these different fields that I can't cover it all today. But if you have questions, post them. And if you have questions later, then my email address was at the start, but it'll also be at the end. The demand, not just for the amount of data that's available and for the services that we offer and for the services that people want to use in technology, the demand in data science specialists, digital forensic specialists, and cybersecurity specialists, whilst it already is huge, and one of the biggest growing technical areas, will continue to grow drastically over the next few years. And as we can see in the slides, data science and the data skills analysis gap is predicted to be over a million in 2025. In 2025, the market for cybersecurity is predicted to be 38.13 billion euros. And by 2027, the digital forensics market globally is predicted to be 20.29 billion US dollars. Now, these are vast amounts of money. And this is a market that you will be able to enter. Hopefully, I give them some justice when I talk about them now. But they are massive areas that you will learn a lot about, both just looking at news articles, but when you come and study with us, we will talk you through how they all work. We will show you the skills and develop your skills in these areas so that you can go and enter the job market at the end. So let's start with applied data science. Applied data science is very much about analysis of data. There's so much data there. How do we make sense of it? But for a company perspective, we have influx of data from people entering our websites, from people asking questions, people using our applications, people entering our stores. How do we make use of this data? How can we get the best use of it? How do we visualize it? How do we make other people understand what the data is showing? Inside of this subject area is also the big, on the tip of your tongue, artificial intelligence and machine learning. You'll have seen in the news recently lots about artificial intelligence and machine learning. This fits into the applied data science area. And the idea of this is that data has value. And the students and people that work in this subject area are immensely valued. People are desperate, I think is a fair term to use, for people with these skills to be able to analyze data because they can't deal with how much is there. And they need to think about clever ways of analyzing it. It's not just using spreadsheets and graphs and charts. It's about using different techniques, visualization techniques, machine learning to interpret and make sense of what's there. And data science kind of encompasses multiple different subject areas. We have computer science in there, we have mathematics, statistics, data visualization, data processing, as well as additional domain expertise in whichever field you wish to enter at the end. And your job as a data scientist will be to clean, analyze, visualize, interrogate, present data and an understanding of that data. You can predict what will happen in the future from what you're looking at and looking at trends and models. You can also use that data to kind of determine what will happen. And the core areas that are covered in the subject. So as it's a 3-year bachelor program, you'll cover anything from programming to statistics to other areas of mathematics, as well as the visualization of data, machine learning, and then how all these connect together. So at the end of it, you'll be in a position to enter a data science role. And the data science area really has society impact. What you do and what you'll work on both within your degree and after your degree is very much focused on real-world scenarios. What you do and analyse has impact on society. It helps the healthcare society looking at future trends and what needs are, analysis of images and image processing to determine cancer on images and visualization of people's bodies. You'll help the education sector. You will help to determine, again, trends and predict what will happen in the future. What this means is, because data is everywhere, you have the opportunity to go and work in any field that has data, which is everything, which will include data analyst roles, data engineer, and you can use these as buzzwords to look on the internet to determine, are these the kind of roles that you wish to enter? You can work as a business analyst, machine learning engineer. You can go off and do additional study, do a master's, do a PhD. You can also use these skills to enter pretty much any IT role, a multitude of different IT roles. Data science doesn't focus on the low-level, real techie, nerdy areas. It focuses on the interpretation of data. And as you can see on the right-hand side on this chart, the kind of skills which are needed very much focus around software engineering, software development, understanding and programming, as well as the mathematics and the visualization of that data. A big buzzword at the minute is cybersecurity. And if you said cybersecurity to anyone, they feel it's a very sexy area, and it is. It's a huge area. And cybersecurity is very much about defending systems, defending data. And some of that defense comes from offense. So testing systems to see if they're weak already. And as part of this process, you need to understand that there is a multitude of systems available. Digital devices are everywhere. On your very person at the minute, I can imagine you have 2 or 3 devices which are classed as digital devices, from smartwatches to mobile phones to laptops and computers. Each of them contains your personal information, and you want that information to be secure and safe. The only way we can do that is through the implementation of security. And the more devices that we have, the more risks there are. People want your data, people want to abuse your data, people want to abuse systems and take advantage of little weaknesses in systems. Cybersecurity is a very difficult role. You have to defend every single possible avenue of people attacking the system, but an attacker only needs to find a single vulnerability. Within the curriculum, you have the fundamental computing knowledge that covers everything from networking through to programming. But then you look into offensive and defensive techniques. How do you put in place things that will try to protect networks, protect individual systems? How do you harden and make your operating system more secure? All the way through to looking at what is happening on a global and international scale. What are groups, terrorist groups, fractions using that will look and use digital data? By understanding this, by looking into this in depth and trying to do this practically where we can, you will gain a greater knowledge of how to defend systems, both through defensive measures as well as through offensive measures. At the end of it, The field of cybersecurity is huge. Going into the job market means that you can enter things such as penetration tester, security consultant, information security analyst. And the list of jobs goes on and on and on. And a little bit of internet searching, you'll find lots of information about these different roles. And we're not saying, and on any of these degrees, when you finish, you are an expert in any of these areas. But you are in a position where you'll be able to enter the job market and be helpful, be useful from the point of starting. From cybersecurity, just like applied data science, you can go into a multitude of other IT roles, as well as going into further education. Alongside our cybersecurity is digital forensics, maybe a lesser known area within the cybersecurity realm. This focuses very much on the investigation of data, on taking all those IT systems, those digital systems, those devices on your body, and looking to see what can we extract from them, what can we identify from them. Now, most people see digital forensics as law enforcement working for the police. That is one avenue of digital forensics. But also, we can go and work in any IT role, any IT area, who has a need to investigate systems, to investigate what's gone on. Maybe there's been an incident, maybe a cybersecurity threat has occurred. Somebody's broken into a system. The digital forensics team will come in to help to investigate that. Maybe more commonly known as incident response. But that's more, the whole digital forensic realm is about using the analytical techniques, understanding interpretation of data. And the skills that you develop through the digital forensics area and the career and the curriculum will set you up with transferable skills that allow you to enter other IT roles as well. And really the key for digital forensics is the who, when, where, how, why and what. This is what we would like you to learn as you study the curriculum. Who's done what? When did they do it? Where did it occur? How did it occur? Why did it occur? And what occurred? Can you present that data? Can you make it understandable by others? And the roles of a forensic examiner, of somebody that works in this field, is again as broad as all the other programs. You can go and work for the police. You can work as a forensic analyst. You can work as a forensic examiner for big accountancy firms, for internal departments that have any kind of IT role. You can also go work in the cyber realm using your analytical skills that you've developed. You can go into any IT role. You have a fundamental knowledge, just like cybersecurity, of IT, of networking, of programming. And you can obviously go into further study, masters, PhDs. The three programs that we focus on in computing are niche programs. They're specialized programs. And the reason we focus on them is because of the job market demand upon graduation. We know that it's not just focused on Norway, it's focused internationally. Our teaching team comes from around the world. We're bringing skills and expertise that are from a global perspective. This allows you to have a broader view of what the different fields are. It also means that you're taught by a variety of very good, very specialist people. And this specialization of the degrees means that you are highly employable upon graduation, and even employable before graduation. We see an increasing number of students having jobs before they finish because people are so desperate to fill those roles. In the first year, we have a relatively common first year, which means that if you enter applied data science, digital forensics or cybersecurity, you can move between those programs within that first year. When that first year is complete, you can then go into your real specialization. So as the second year and the third year progresses, you will do increasingly specialized courses, specialized subject areas, specialized tools. The three areas that we focus on are in high demand. Noroff University College as a whole, as I've already said, looks to bring in specialists from around the world to do that teaching, to make sure you have the skills so you can go into those high demand markets. Our core principles for delivery for all our teaching focuses very much on applying knowledge, applied knowledge, not just listening to us. Where we can, we get you to do hands-on practical activities. From analysing data to investigating systems to attacking and defending systems and implementing hardening of operating systems. And we do this across all the 3 degree programs. And what we deliver and what we develop, we try and do in line with industry's needs, which means that we refresh and renew relatively regular because the IT field changes constantly. So we want to make sure that you, as one of our students, have the opportunity to see that evolution of technology that will occur even as you're studying. And it means that what we're delivering is focused towards where your future careers will be. Because at the end, we want you to be able to apply those skills. We want you to be able to analyse, we want you to be able to defend, we want you to be able to investigate. And the 3 programs work towards that. Throughout the studies, apart from engaging with your lecturers, apart from the lectures, the guidance sessions, what we also have are a series of extracurricular activities. These range from guest lectures, where we'll get industry experts, academic experts from around the world, and they will deliver something that's related to your current course or something broader that's relevant to a broader field. Just recently, we had an expert from a medical device manufacturer who delivered a lecture on the investigation of a Linux operating system. We have also experts that have come from other academic institutions to talk about data science, about visualization techniques, about machine learning. And we try and keep these at regular intervals throughout the academic year. We also have capture the flag events, where we get you to attack systems, to investigate data, both run by ourselves as well as run by external companies. And these events are about developing skill sets, about developing knowledge. We run regular competitions and challenges, from little quizzes through to other activities, just to try and engage students a little bit more outside the curriculum and allow you to apply your skills beyond just what we're teaching. There are obviously student-led societies and student-led social events, which allows you to build that community and work with a community. And we also have our career days, which allows you to engage with industry and for industry to engage with you. And you can then determine which career path you wish to go down. And by having these regularly throughout your studies, it allows you to identify and change which career route you wish to take. Each of the degree programs allows you to have some form of specialization inside of it, maybe through electives or projects. So you may wish to study more into incident response or into cloud computing, or you may wish to What we also have is we also offer 3 different study modes or delivery modes. We have online, so you can be purely 100% online. You can study wherever you wish to be it on a beach or be it here on campus. We have Online Plus, which allows you to study remotely, but also have the physical campus facilities available to you. Or if you want the more traditional university experience, you come to Campus Kristiansand. And here we have the physical lecturers delivering material to you. You sit in a lecture, you sit in the guidance sessions, and you have that interactivity, which we still try to achieve even for the online students. So you have a choice of where to go. You have a choice of your degree program. You have a choice of how you wish to study. Are there any questions? So we have a question which is, are there any requirements for prior knowledge? Apart from our core entry requirements, there are no other prior knowledge requirements. We can and we will provide you with some pre-reading, things that we want you to engage with, things that we want you to read and prepare, but it's not a requirement. Realistically, your enthusiasm for a subject area outweighs any prior knowledge. The first year, that common first year, that underpinning fundamental skills, which covers programming and networking and other research study aspects, will allow you to be in a position to really pick up the specialisation in the second or third year, no matter which degree program you wish to enter. We have a question that looks at, are teachers helpful in the job search process? We have a large network, because we have an international pool of staff. We have a large network of our own contacts, as well as those contacts that we have built in Norway itself, which means that we pull those employers in, those industry contacts in, and allow you to engage with them. So yes, we help in that search process. We help with looking at CVs. We're trying to help you identify which skills to really highlight. And obviously, whenever jobs come to us, we make them available for students to see and apply for. And we'll actively encourage you to do so. What software, hardware do I need? It's going to be on the information that comes out to you as an applicant. But really, a laptop, a PC, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive would suit you really well. Personally, Windows is what I use. Students who use a Mac, there is less support for that because Macs cause some issues with some of the software and things that we use. So Windows or Linux are generally what we encourage people to have. There are workarounds using virtual machines and whatnot, and that might work. But for simplicity, a Windows laptop, 16 gig of RAM, 500 gig hard disk would be sufficient. Everything that we do is taught in English. So our lectures are, again, an international pool. The field of technology is really internationally an English field. Or that's a common language, shall we say, that's used. So what we teach is all in English, which will allow you to go to a larger global workforce. I can't quite read that one. Are there any alternatives to match the mathematic requirements for cybersecurity studies? Specific requirements, what we specify and the entry requirements are what's needed. I'm unsure of alternatives, but if you contact the sales team, they'll be able to talk you through any other options, or send myself an email and I can forward you on to the right people. What are the exams like? Exams are always terrifying to some extent, but they're just exams. We use a variety of different assessments. Some of them we use kind of more traditional exams, essay-based questions. We have report writing, we have investigations, we have practical work. For example, in one of the courses that I lead, you undertake the analysis of a forensic image to determine what the criminal did, when they did it, how they did it, and present that into our mock courtroom, so our pretend courtroom. So you kind of go through the whole workflow of a forensic analyst. Cybersecurity students do similar things, but maybe looking at testing the security on a system. And the whole assessment is based around that. So it's not just written work. It's not just practical work. We find a blend and balance between different assessment techniques, which allows you to develop different skills and shine in different areas. And these are the skills and techniques that you will learn and need to use when you enter industry. Okay, so the question is, what electives are you offering for cybersecurity? Electives we review. So electives run in the final year of study. For cybersecurity this year, the electives include 2 mathematics courses, cloud, fundamentals and security, open source intelligence, and risk management. Digital forensics has a similar suite of electives available, and applied data science focuses a little bit more on the mathematics side because that's kind of the core skill sets for applied data science. Is there a traditional thesis at the end? There is. Oh, it depends what you call traditional. There is a big independent research work, so we call it the Bachelor project. And that Bachelor project requires you to work for the entire academic year, and you will undertake research into a particular area that interests you. And again, that's the thing that you can take to an employer to show what you can do on your own, essentially. You have a supervisor allocated to you, and that supervisor will guide and support you throughout the process. We have some students who are building incident response plans for businesses. We have some students who are undertaking analysis of data sets or data, both in the applied data science and digital forensics realms. So yes, there is a traditional kind of thesis that's available. So from just a quick summary, from my side, the 3 areas are in high demand throughout the world, not just in a particular country, but they are skill sets throughout the world that people are desperate for. When you graduate, you will have a big opportunity in front of you to go into the fields of data science, cybersecurity, digital forensics. And it's a big area. It's a big step forward, but it is only the first step into your career. What you do now is building fundamental knowledge, foundational knowledge that you will take forward and develop moving on. I think personally, all 3 areas are really exciting, and they all have their slight differences, and some students like one and some students like another. But whichever one you pick, you will not regret once you graduate entering that field. They are exciting and changing constantly. If you want something that doesn't change, IT isn't for you. If you want something that evolves constantly, you need to learn and research all the time, then any one of these degree programs is the perfect fit. Thank you. If you have any questions, please send me an email. I'm happy to answer and respond, or contact our sales teams if it's about the application process itself. And I look forward to seeing you in August.